There are certain rules that one must abide by in order to successfully survive a horror movie.
I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play? They're here.
Welcome to the Horror Cut.
Welcome to the Horror Cut's first live podcast. Can we get a cheer from the audience? I'm still Gary.
I'm still Steg.
And thank you very much for coming along. So for our listeners at home or in the car or wherever they're listening to the podcast, us and the audience just watched The Fly. And this was my choice. I think it's quite a fun film. It's a little dreary at points, but we didn't want to start with something like Hereditary or something that would really depress you. So we wanted something a bit more light-hearted. So I'm going to ask Stephen, what is your thoughts the first time you seen this film and then seen it again tonight?
So I haven't watched this film in about maybe 20, 25 years. And I think when I probably first watched it as, I don't know, maybe 10, I think I was just horrified by it. There's certain bits in it that just stick in your memory. You're like, shit. And watching it now, I'm like, it's a solid film, isn't it? All in. Acting's fantastic. Obviously, we can talk a bit more about acting and the different points, but holds up.
Yeah, I would agree. Actually, there was like a lot of pressure watching it with a live audience because this was my pick. And for me, actually, the first time I watched it, I think I was about 10. I probably shouldn't have been watching it, but I loved it. And this time, there was a lot of pressure, I felt, because I was like, is this a horror film? You know? Because for like the first 45 minutes, there's nothing that horrific except a melting monkey. But then once it got into the horror stuff and we started hearing the reactions from all of yous, I was like, this is definitely a horror film, and it's okay. It was worth the wait, almost.
It's definitely worth the wait.
Yeah. So,
can I ask, actually, how many people was this their first time seeing it?
Nice.
Wow,
so that's probably about 20 then, maybe, yeah. For those that is their first time, let's hold off just now and we'll get your thoughts on the film and how terrible it was at the end. No, I'm joking. So for those that don't know about the podcast, we flip a coin to see who's going to give the synopsis of what the film was about and how badly we do that. So Karen is going to give us 30 seconds. We have to explain it in 30 seconds. So you flipping?
This is just the coin we've had since day one, isn't
it? Tails. Is that me then? Man tries to teleport himself and turns himself into a fly. Boom, done. And we're done.
I think you're making a mistake. I think you really want to talk to me.
Sorry, I have 3 other interviews to do before this party's over.
Yeah, but they're not working on something that'll change the world as we know it.
They say they are.
Yeah, but they're lying.
There is a limit, even to the imagination.
Human teleportation, molecular decimation, breakdown, and reformation is inherently purging.
Where our greatest creations meet our deepest fears.
Something went wrong, Seth. When you went through, something went wrong.
You are about to go beyond that limit.
Those weird hairs that were growing out of your back, I had them analyzed. But they were definitely not human.
If you saw how scared and angry and desperate he...
I'm sure Typhoid Mary was a very nice person, too, when you saw her socially.
No!
You're afraid to be destroyed and recreated, aren't you?
You're changing, Seth. Everything about you is changing.
Oh, no. What's happening to me? Am I dying?
I want to know what's going on.
What does the disease want?
Wants to turn me into something else. Oh, no. A fly.
Well done.
Thank you. That's the fastest one ever. I mean, what else do you add to it? What else?
Yeah.
Okay. So, for those that don't know that's in the room, we usually try and give 3 positive points in the film. I myself am a writer-director. You're also an actor, so we don't want to slate films because they're bloody hard to make. So I'm going to start off by handing it over to you. What's your first positive point on The Fly?
And on that, we can slate our own films. So, aye. My first positive point on The Fly is Jeff Goldblum.
Is there anyone here that is not a fan of Jeff Goldblum? I spoke to a few people this week that are just like, he just plays himself, but this is before he became Jeff Goldblum. It's like Al Pacino just shouts a lot now, but back when Al Pacino was starting out, let's not slag Al Pacino. So Jeff Goldblum, what about him?
He's get the character nailed down to a T, and I don't think anyone else could have played this guy. With his look, the eyes, you know what I mean, for me, like, so many times in the film, when you're watching him, he's so interested in the scene, but his eyes a lot of the time shift left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. And a lot of the time that means that when you're acting, you're listening. So he's constantly listening to whoever he's playing against, whether it's Gina Davis or John Getz. And his reactions to everything that he does are just phenomenal. I know he uses his hands a lot. That really annoys people. I love it. I think it's great. I think he's just got the character nailed down to a T, and he's kind of funny. And I don't know if he means to be funny, but he is quite funny.
Yeah, one of my favourite lines was when Gina Davis's character comes back, Veronica, and he's got the other women at the bar, and when she walks in, he just goes, "Oh, I forgot to tell you, I live with my mother as well." And I heard that laughing here as well. Yeah. And just the fact that he names himself Brundlefly.
Yeah.
Like he's just created a new species, and I thought that worked. But also, there's like these little mannerisms. The more he becomes a fly, he starts doing these like nervous twitches.
Yeah.
And you just picture like a fly on a donut and its little head going from side to side. Did you like that? But yeah, I agree. I think without his performance and Gina Davis's working so well together, I don't think we would appreciate the transformation as much.
Yeah.
You know, it's like his performance at the start, right through the prosthetics, once it becomes that animatronic fly at the end, and it's like almost these droopy puppy dog eyes looking up, you were like, that's still Jeff Goldblum. Yeah. You still believe that, you know?
There was something on that I had in the notes there, but it kind of touches on a later point about the makeup. The transformation's still not fully complete, but there are times where you're watching it and you're going, it must have been so difficult for him, or maybe it was easy, I don't know, but because if you are, the first half of the film, you're human, you know, you've nailed that character, you've got all the mannerisms down, and then to put on that layer of makeup, I think for a lot of actors, they would change to suit the makeup, whereas he doesn't do that. The makeup doesn't, it enhances his performance. You can still tell very clearly that he knows that character inside and out, which I thought was very impressive.
Yeah, there was a line that he says when he starts talking about insect politicians, and he makes a decision to ask Veronica to leave. And I thought that was interesting because he's basically saying, I want to be the first insect politician that is, it's not all about being like a predator and just living on instinct. But 2 scenes later, he is like a fully formed fly. He's only thinking on instinct as well. So you get this idea that he's inside, he's fighting for control, and it just doesn't actually, it doesn't come through on that.
Yeah.
And on the makeup, my first point is almost the body horror elements of this. But let's talk about like the last almost transformation before Jeff Goldblum's replaced by animatronics, and he's in this kind of full bodysuit. Did anybody else start to think, just give me a cheer in the audience, did anybody else start thinking about the substance?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that was like influenced by that, and I think this, somebody else can tell me in the audience, what came first, the Elephant Man or the Fly? Elephant Man. So yeah, I think this is influenced by that as well. But the body horror elements for me, it's the smaller ones that work, because I think as humans, we fear our body failing us or like transforming and out of our control. And it's like the little things where the teeth start to fall out because as soon as we get a wobbly tooth, we panic. We're like, oh, I've not been to the dentist in 5 years. What am I going to do? Or as the nails start peeling, I heard a few people in the audience going, oh, it's those little things that freak us out more than like the big bodysuit, you know, because that's almost out with our mind and thoughts. It's the little parts of our body failing us, and I think that's where the body horror stuff works well. Chris Wallace, I think, was the makeup artist, and he got the first credit in the end credits. I'm sure he won an Oscar or a BAFTA for it, which is really, this won 2 BAFTAs, you know. So it's those little things that I think it make us go eek, but I think the whole kind of makeup still holds up. I mean, how old is this film? And as Strathis gets the saliva gunk poured on him, using the audience, well, just pure, ugh, you know. So it still holds up. Yeah, I love it. So like horrid and wet and sticky. And I don't know. I just think without, as you said, without Jeff Goldblum and Gina Davis' performance, we wouldn't care so much. We'd be picking up our phones as we were watching this. So I think it goes down to good makeup and good performance. Yeah.
You asked the audience if they thought of the substance. When he delivers the line, "Please don't kill me," I thought of all the times that I may have killed a fly. Did anyone else think that, or was it just me? Just me.
I didn't think that, right? And I know it's kind of answered towards the end, but watching it through, I was like, okay, if he's becoming part fly, there must be like a little fly that's becoming part Jeff Goldblum.
Jeez.
And maybe that's like the spin-off we really want to see. Still stuck in the teleport, like almost Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, but Jeff Goldblum.
It's just moving his arms.
It's real. Obviously, as it goes on, like Jeff Goldblum starts to like walk with a hunchback and stuff like that, and I feel like you can really feel his pain there as well, because that's the first signs of his body failing him. Yeah.
Do you think it takes him a while to really start to care that this is actually happening to him? I think it's maybe the scientist, the obsessive nature of his character, where he's like, this is happening, but he's almost not horrified about what's happening. It takes him a long time to actually go, shit, I'm turning into a fly.
Yeah, and I think that's because of what the film's trying to say. I mean, this is basically saying the same thing as something like Terminator 2, or Terminator, I guess. It's like when man pushes technology too far, it's going to be a downfall. And what I picked up on this time watching it was I related this screening to AI, because he was like, computers are dumb and it's just me feeding the computer information, and that computer is trying to work out what to do with that information, and it fails him. And I was like, watching it with like a contemporary eye, I thought that was really interesting, because we are just feeding AI constantly and it's learning, but is it learning the right information? And I can't believe I took that from The Fly.
40 years earlier. How fast the film, it just goes into it. Like right at the start, it's like, I'm doing this thing, it's going to change the world. Do you want to come and see it? And she's like, all right.
I know.
Shocked me how fast things just move really, really quickly. You know, she meets him upstairs, and you're going, what are you doing? It's the 80s, but into it. The 80s are just a bit more trustworthy than it is these days. Next thing you know, they're in bed, and you're going, that's only been 10 minutes into the film.
Here's my big machine. Do you want to see it? No, you're right, but like I teach a little bit of screenwriting, and one of the things I say is, especially with short films, is arrive late and leave early, and basically don't stick around too much. And you're right, like wide shot of a networking event, close up on Jeff Goldblum, close up on Gina Davis, they leave. Like it just gets straight to the story. But even at the end, you know, she has to shoot Jeff Goldblum. She shoots him. Roll credits. We're out.
Yeah.
You know, and I really appreciate that. And this film reminds me a lot of another transformational film about a monster and a love story. Can anybody guess in the audience? Right. Beauty and the Beast it was. A little bit, yeah. It's got that tragic love story, this animalistic thing, but it's American Werewolf in London. You know, like he starts his transformation, he meets a hot nurse, they fall in love in under 2 days. And then it ends. I won't spoil that for those that haven't seen it, but it is and it's fun as well, isn't it? That's quite a fun film as well. Yeah, for me, this is like kind of Beauty and the Beast. It's this like tragic love story. And going back to the performance, Gina Davis and Jeff Goldblum were dating when making this film, and I think that's where the chemistry comes from.
Did not know that.
As well, I think without them, like as we said, it's they make the film because it is just man tries to teleport himself and turns into a fly, but with their chemistry, it becomes so much more as well. And I actually think Veronica is the main character. I don't think it's Jeff Goldblum because she's the one that's got agency. You know, like he teleports himself and starts changing. And yes, he fiddles about with a computer, but she's the one that's actively trying to help, talking to Straffus, you know, trying to find a cure. She's the one that sends the fly hairs for research.
Oh, to research,
she finds out that it's an insect. She's the one with agency, and at the same time, she's battling this demon from her past, this Straffus, this creep. And then she's met this new man. It's suddenly turned into a fly. She's the one that's juggling everything, and then she almost has to make the decision to kill him. So I think it's actually her story, and that's what I think makes it interesting. Plus the fact that she might have a fly baby in it as well. So yeah, but Beauty and the Beast is a great way of tragic Shakespeare. You know, Shakespeare
in love, yeah. Baboons. This guy's just got an endless supply of baboons.
Have you not?
No.
I've got a few in my back pocket.
Yeah, I mean, there is a few bits where you just kind of go, that's fine. Just, you know, just brush by it. Because it's not, you know, it's a minor part of the story. The baboons, John gets just, you know, turning up at an apartment, having a shower. And it's just like,
On the baboon part, though, I think it might be answered because she asked him, "Are you doing all this yourself?" And he's like, "No, I've just I asked somebody for, like, you know, a laser. They make me a laser. I asked someone for a monkey. They give me a baboon." Like, I think that's subtly answered. And I think the other thing that's subtly answered there is why he's doing the teleportation. Do you know? Did you work out why he's so driven?
No.
Did anyone else?
Help me.
Yep. Motion sickness. He doesn't like travelling.
That was that. I'm away up the road.
Anybody else want to take his place?
So that was it.
Well, he says he gets motion sickness, so he doesn't like travelling, so he's going to find another way to travel. And even when, I think it's when they do the monkey, she actually says to him, sorry, baboon, better get that right. When they first do that, she says, you don't need to get car sick anymore. Or tricycle sick, as they said, yeah.
Nah, I never wrote that down. What's your second point?
I'm on my third now. We're racing through this. You can tell we're nervous. Let's talk a little bit more about Straffus. Is that how you pronounce it? Yeah, Straffus? Yeah.
I think so, yeah. I
think he's also a really interesting character to have in this. And he reminds me of Ellis from Die Hard. Give me a cheer if you agree. Yeah, he's a bit sleazy, a bit of a creep.
But yeah.
And it's 80s, so he could be on coke as well, let's be honest.
Probably,
as well. But I think, like, he's such an arsehole at the start. Like, just to her, it's almost like Veronica's his plaything. Then he invites himself back over to the apartment. He won't give her the key back. He's stalking her. And I think it's really interesting that he becomes one of the heroes.
Yeah.
So this, like, villain character helps save the day, whereas one of our heroes, like Brundle, is slowly becoming the villain. And I thought that was really interesting because there was no reason, really, to make him so sleazy at the start. Like, he could have just been a nice guy, which would have then made Brundle kind of more jealous of their relationship. But by making him sleazy, we think he's a dick. And then when he's getting his foot and his arm melted away and still trying to save the day, somehow we still care for him. And I thought that. And he's helping her with the hospital and things like that.
Yeah, it's funny because even at parts when you do think, oh, he's redeeming himself here, he goes, so can we... I don't. And they're like, oh, come on, mate. Get up.
All I'm going to say is...
God loves a trier.
God loves a trier, and I still fancy Gina Davis in this film
yeah.
as well. But for those that like Jeff Goldblum, he is looking fine as well. See when he's flipping up and down and What a bod.
That's like me when I take my tap off.
See how many more drinks you have and we'll see if that happens.
He's a pianist, Jeff Goldblum.
Penis?
So, pianist.
Oh, yeah.
Pianist. Hence I think it said Cronenberg liked that Goldblum wanted a piano on set. And then Cronenberg said that's a really cool character choice, so put it in the scene.
And it does work when he first introduces Veronica into the room, and he's almost playing music in relation to her finding out information. So, like, he's like, oh, the machine's over there, and he's like, dun dun. And it's almost becomes, it worked really well, actually.
Do you think, I was when I saw that scene, I was like, is she thinking that, obviously he's just maybe trying to get in her pants, but is there also that maybe that's what he was there to show her? Him playing piano? As if this was some kind of new revolutionary thing? Or?
Oh, I never got that. I got it was he was just trying to war.
That's
like,
what I thought.
Yeah,
that's
like,
what I thought.
And then, because she rolls her eyes right away, she's like, I think I'm going to go now.
I'm going to go up the road.
Yeah. And also, her ex is not much to go by, so as soon as he starts playing the piano, she's like,
I've seen this before.
I also like the idea this film was low budget.
I think it was $9 million. Sure, it was 15 million.
15 million. Thank you. But what I was going to say is the way they keep the budget low is there is only really 3 main characters in it. You know, Straffus, Veronica, Brundle, and then a few extras like the Doctor and things. But also they keep it to one location for the most part. Like I would say 75% of this is Brundle's lab/living area, and I think that works because they've clearly just built that as a set. But every time we go back to it, it feels kind of new because something's changed. Either Brundle's changed or it's becoming more and more messy. The set's almost deteriorating as he is, so it works hand in hand. Whereas if we're cutting away to all these different locations, I feel like you would lose that imagery as well.
Mm-hmm.
On that note as well, though, did anybody else get the sense that Brundle's a fan of Mr. Bean and that's why he dresses like him? It was totally Mr. Bean question.
Oh, that was brilliant. I was looking up other actors who were considered for the role. Pierce Brosnan, John Malkovich, John Lithgow, and Michael Keaton. But I ultimately went to Goldblum. Apparently Goldblum said that he wanted the challenge of performing in the makeup. A lot of the other actors were kind of turned off by it. But he was kind of like, well, I want to give us a bash, I'm up for it. And I think, again, with him as a person and an actor, he's very mobile. He's always moving. Everything's kind of, I'd imagine, objects and things that are all kind of fair share. So I think for him to move around in that outfit would have been a lot easier than for like someone like John Lithgow.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because for me, it's more when he becomes more and more infected as the Fly. But it's the first time that I really feel that Jeff Goldblum's acting, as I said, with those little twitches and those little, I was going to say mannerisms, but I guess flyerisms. But it's the first time that I'm actually like, he is becoming the Fly. He's putting effort into that. And I think it really works. I could see Michael Keaton doing this. He's kind of got that little bit of, weirdness in his eyes as well, and I could see that. Yeah. And who's the other ones that you said?
Malkovich, Pierce Brosnan, John Lithgow.
Malkovich you could see as well. He's a bit fruity as well. Yes. One of my favourite lines in it was from Straffus as well, and it was when he said, she's like, I'm onto something huge. And he was just went, what? His cock? And that was some good line there, and the audience appreciated that as well. The voice, well, not the voice, sorry, the computer that Jeff Goldblum uses to put in all his inputs and voice commands, it really reminded me of Mother from the Alien universe.
Oh, yeah.
Anyone else gives a cheer if you got that as well? Yep. And it's kind of obviously the same technology, the same time, but I thought that really works.
When was Alien? 79?
Yeah. The 70s anyway.
This is a remake. Would you class it as a remake?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, it is. Yeah,
it is, but
it's completely different from the original. But I also would say that's the best remakes, like the ones that aren't just a carbon copy. Like one of my other favourite remakes is Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead. where you have like it's set in a shopping mall. New characters. One of them is still a cop. There's still a bit of racism, so it's tackling the same themes. But all new characters. They changed the element of the zombies as well, so it feels new. It feels original. I think this does very similar things there. It's taking one strong element and then doing something new with it as well.
I think there was a wee sort of homage to the first film where, you know, when the computer works out, obviously it's a fly, and that brings up the picture in the screen. It kind of cuts to Goldblum and his eyes sort of widen, and then it's sort of, I think the music kind of comes up a bit louder, and then it fades to black. I think that was like a little touch to say, look, it's kind of wee thing for the 50s. That's the way I kind of took it.
That's funny that you say that, because that kind of stood out to me as well. It was almost like it went to like a freeze frame, and then like that's faded to black. And to me, that reminded me of like almost an old TV movie, where it was going to go to an ad break, but it didn't quite get there as well. I would like to open up to the audience, so we're going to get another little mic out. So, has anyone got any thoughts or comments or questions on the film?
Hello.
Hiya.
Hi. It's more an observation that, you know, the scene when Jeff Goldblum, Seth, he's starting to change, and Veronica is like, she's holding on to him and she's embracing him, and she's obviously upset, but he's covered in goo and all sorts, bits are falling off, and she's holding him so tightly, and you can just feel that she is so concerned and loved with him. And then in the next scene, when Strathis tries to like just put his hand on her shoulder, she visibly recoils from that. And I just love that, like that contrast between, you can just see how her feelings are so strong for this man. Well, for both men, but very contrasting.
Yeah.
And I just thought great acting all around, but especially for Gina Davis. And I just wanted to point that out.
That's a good one, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's great, because this, I think the film is maybe 2 months is the timeline, because it stops for 4 weeks. She's not visited Brando for 4 weeks, and there's stuff before and after that. So she's almost got just over 4 weeks to fall in love with this fly humanoid thing. And I think she sells that. And I think it's scenes like that where, you know, lovely Karen is standing there. I hope if I was like loaded with the flu, you would still come over and hug me if I'm got the sweats and everything. And it's basically like a heightened version of that, you know.
I'd do it for you.
I know you would. So, yeah, I think it's like, let's goop him up and get her to squeeze him tightly. And again, it goes back to, as an audience, we need that, so is that when it is an animatronic fly at the end, we still believe that there's some humanity in there. And I think you're right, she's got the hardest job in this film to sell that. Yeah. Thanks.
Great point.
Anyone else?
It was just a wee observation. When she was having the dream, she was giving birth. Was that David Cronenberg that done a wee cameo with glasses?
Yes.
Yeah, it was. It's a bit of a weird one to pick, though, isn't it? What did you think of that scene, actually, the pregnancy scene?
Yeah, I thought it was really good. For a split second, I was like, is this actually happening in real time, or is it a dream? But then I kind of remembered, right before once you saw whatever it was that was coming out, I was like, this is a dream. But yeah, pretty good.
I think the film's doing these little subtle things with sexual imagery as well. So, yeah, like obviously that's quite a big thing there, right, to do with like sex. Jeff Goldblum's character, Brando, goes on about like penetration when he's losing his mind. I also noticed, I watched this 2 days ago and then watched it tonight, and both times, when they pick the stocking out of the teleportation, it looks like the shape of a large cock. It really does. Go back and look at it. It's got a little head and everything. It's weird.
Can we get a replay, please?
But it is like, look at it. And then also just things like when he squeezes his finger and it's basically like spunk hitting the mirror. Like, I know it sounds disgusting, but I think there is a lot of like weird, grotesque sexual imagery in this.
And you can go there with body horror films, can't you?
Yeah,
you've got a license to do that with those kind of films.
And I think it's subtle enough that it could run past you, but there's lots of like. I thought he turned my mic off there. He's like, Gary, stop talking, stop talking there. But yeah, that was David Cronenberg there as well. He does a lot of little cameos in these things. He was also in Jason X.
Was he?
I'm sure he's one of the wardens before Jason's transported to space. Yes, that's that franchise went there. And he's not even a part of the film. He just wanted to be in it.
Friday the 13th, part 14.
Anyone else from the audience?
Hello. So I was just thinking about what you said about Gina Davis being the only one with agency in the film. Well, not the only one, but it's her agency that's kind of drives the film forward. But like you, I saw the film a wee bit too young, and the bit where she does give birth to the maggot really was kind of the most terrific thing for me. But rewatching it, she's been round to status, she's seen this video of disgusting brundlefly, and then she's like, I'm pregnant, I want this thing out my body, and he's like, but I mean, are you sure you want to get it out of your body? And just it's her struggle to retain agency that kind of drives the last half of the film.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I do understand that it's two guys up here talking about that scene as well, but I actually think that is the point, is she might have this thing in the body that she wants rid of, and it's two men, it's I think that's part of it. And I think for an 80s film, it's saying a lot there, that it's her choice. She has a choice there, and Strathis is I don't know if it's late. You sure tonight, really? And then you've got another man that just kidnaps her to stop her and holds her hostage. I think that is interesting. Yeah.
This film was made in 1986, right? And we were there. And you commented on his attire about the same jacket. We all wore that jacket, shirt and ties in those days. It's changed now, but that's the way it was. And you did make a comment about why he did so. But it was a year, just a year.
No, I understand that, but you tell me you didn't have any other ties. It's the same. It's 5 of the same.
I know that.
So I'm sure you had a lot of other nice suit jackets, Alistair. I've seen your white tux.
Well, my white tux, yes, I've still got that, actually. But you know what I'm saying? It was the style of the day, actually. 86. We all wore shirt and ties and a jacket. That was it, basically, in 86. We were there.
I know.
We were there.
We've almost moved on since then.
Yeah, you've lost a tie.
So have I. Anyway.
Actually, let's just quickly talk on that. What do you think of the costumes and the look of this film?
What do you mean the look? The
there's
styles and things.
Yeah, there's a certain tone and style to 80s films, but I also loved some of Veronica's outfits, and I think they've come back in a little bit as well. I seen the half fleece zipper, and it's black and white, and I was I could see Karen in that.
Didn't notice much to do with the costumes, sorry.
What about Jeff Goldblum's hair?
Oh, brilliant. I could probably pull that off.
Oh, there you go. I've got a question actually for the audience here. Give us a round of applause if you actually thought Jeff Goldblum's hot in this film. Nice. So the hair didn't put you off, actually? That was still quite the thing? Yeah. Yeah. That's the only reason I'm here. I'd have left if it wasn't for his hair. Yeah. Have you got anything else from the audience at all? Anybody else want to leave any last-minute thoughts, questions? Yes, Tom.
What did you think of the gore ingredients and how they were spaced out throughout the film?
You don't see a lot up until maybe the first hour. There's not really a lot going on gore-wise, and I think this is a great film to show the effects at the time and how effectful they were. Practical effects. I think they're brilliant in this film. I think they really, really are. I think with body horror, it's got that more of an ick factor more than anything, rather than a death scene or something like that. But what did you say the guy's name was? The makeup effects artist,
Chris Wallace, if I'm pronouncing that right. But Chris,
I think he did House, and I think he did Gremlins as well.
He did Gremlins, and he did Arachnophobia, which is
remember that.
Great
Jeff
effects
Bridges.
as well. Yeah. Anyone not seen Arachnophobia? Nice, definitely check.
Never seen that. Oh, you need to check it out. It's good.
It's one of the best spider films ever. Obviously, it's called Arachnophobia. I don't know why I had to explain that.
Is that the next film we're going to do then?
Of course. For me as well, the body horror I think is interesting because Again, I said I thought it was a little slower this time watching it to get into it. Karen also made me feel worse because she pointed out, is this a horror film? Because not much horror had happened. So thanks for that, Karen. Starting to doubt myself. But I think there's enough in there that sets the tone of what to expect. And I think the first one is the monkey. The monkey turning to gloop, because even the reaction was like, oh. And then not much happens again. And then we get the arm wrestle, arm break.
Yeah.
And again, it gave you a little bit of a, oh.
And then that was one of those ones that really stuck in my head watching it as a 10. You know, that just stuck in there.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I remember as well. But then by the time we get to the end, we're kind of ready for more of the goop, the body horror, the effects, you know. So it's like the start of it, it sprinkles enough of it through that then when we get to the end, it doesn't feel like it's done like a 180.
Mm-hmm.
It still feels consistent. It still feels like the same film.
Yeah, and it was a good choice as well to have the sort of end animatronic being like only the last 2 or 3 minutes. I think that was a really, really good choice because you do lose a little bit of the human factor there and you don't feel as much for it as you do in the build up to it.
Around about the same time as this, it was Hellraiser, and the makeup effects are very similar, I think. It's almost, there was a little bit of stop motion in there, a lot of practical, but both of them have, like, you know, bodies disintegrating and turning to mush, and I think that worked on it as well.
God bless these.
I think what's interesting is a lot of the makeup artists now who are, like, you know, at the top of their career are probably roughly our age or just slightly older, and they've made it. We're still trying. But they would have grown up watching things like Hellraiser, The Fly, American Werewolf, and I think they're bringing a lot of the practical elements back because I'm sick of CGI. It just doesn't work.
Doesn't work in horror.
It should help to add rather than be the main thing, and I think what's happening is we're getting back to that, like things like The Substance.
Yeah.
Even a little bit of like something like Sinners that came out this year. It just had enough of the practical to keep it real.
You've got to have it in horror. You can't have CGI in horror. It does totally takes you out of it, and it just makes things. It sticks out like a sore thumb, and it just annoys you a little bit because you're going. You could easily hire someone to do that and make it practical and just make it look much more realistic.
Totally.
You know?
Any other comments from the audience at all? Okay, I've got a surprise for Stephen that he didn't know was coming. So I've got 5 quiz questions, and if you don't know the answer, we're going to open it up to the audience to answer. Good luck.
You've got a weird sense of humour and surprises. Like I thought I was getting like a present, like something.
Okay. What's the first thing we see teleported?
Stalking.
Correct. Yes. Yes. Okay. What is the name of the magazine Veronica works for?
Particle.
Oh, is that your final answer?
No.
It's Particle magazine. Yes, it is. How many set of clothes does Brundle have?
5.
Yay. Okay. 5 that were in the wardrobe. Thank you, Rob, in the audience. Veronica asks if you only got 5 sets of clothes. And Brundle doesn't actually say yes or no, so we'll go with 5. Okay, and what does Veronica say the steak tastes like?
Synthetic.
Well done. And the final one. What is Brundle's first name?
Seth.
Correct. Can we get a round of applause? Okay. So,
sweating after that.
What would you rate the film out of 5?
4.5.
4.5 what?
Flies.
I would give it a 4 out of 5 because
Okay.
To me it just took a little while to get into it, and it starts off, as we said, so fast. Like, here's a wide shot of a networking night, here's your characters, go, and then it kind of starts to dip a little bit. Like, when he becomes like Flyman, kind of like Spider-Man, he's like, being really fit. I was like, cool. But there was literally a scene where he wakes up, takes a deep breath, does some spinny stuff, and then they shag and go back to bed. And I was like, we've learned nothing except he's strong. Like, there could have been so much more in there. So it kind of just dips a little bit for me there. So I'm going to go 4 out of 5. But for the audience, let's hear a cheer if you think it's 1 out of 5. Well, that's good. We must have picked an okay film.
That's good.
2 out of 5. 3 out of 5. Oh, okay. Can we get the mic over to David? I want to know why it's only 3 out of 5.
I just remember it being a lot more gory when I was younger. I mean, I've seen it again when I was like about 10. I just thought... What I remember when I was young was the arm wrestling scene. But I thought his arm actually came right off. So when I saw that, I thought, oh, that's just a wee bit of bone sticking it. So it was as gory, and so no, and I don't think there was that much happening.
Well, yeah, I think that's a valid point. As in the middle, it's like we just watch him turn, and I think so. Maybe it's a case of, like we said, Veronica has got agency, but maybe he needed a little bit more. Maybe because, and it goes back to what Stephen said. Yeah. You said as well that he doesn't take it in that he's changing, and maybe if he did take that in a little bit faster, we might have seen him doing a lot more. But then he's not allowed to leave the apartment because they can't afford that, so we just have to watch him suffer.
Do you think that's maybe just that's the scientist in him that's such a strong part of him, that it's like he's just trying to figure stuff out, if that makes sense? Do you think that's maybe...
Yeah, I think it's like a scientist doesn't want to be proven wrong. They just want to fight to change stuff. So, like, eventually when he does go, I'm actually turning into a fly here. I better do something to it.
Spot a bother here.
Yeah, I better squat to bother me. And he just starts number crunching, and that's as far as he goes with it. And I think his answer to fuse the two of them together probably isn't the best one, No. MD at 3.5 or 3.5? Okay, why 3.5?
I haven't seen that film since I was probably about 15, and it was better than I remember, but it wasn't one of the best films I've ever seen, so that's kind of why I'm in the middle, 3.5.
And what didn't work for you then?
Yeah.
That makes
Definitely performances from the two main actors. They were brilliant, and you did believe that they loved each other. So that was a big part for me. I'm not really all about the gore. The fingernails, mine's actually coming off right now and it's freaking me out. I'm going to have to bite it off in a minute.
That's fair. Okay, anyone at 4? Can I get a few people? Does anybody want to say anything of why it's a 4 out of 5? You can raise your hand. No, everybody wants to stay quiet. Okay, 4 seems... And 4.5? Oh, 4.5, a few cheers there, yeah. And 5 out of 5. Not one person. We'll try and do better next time. Then.
That's all right.
Yeah, we'll try and do better next time. That brings us to the end of our first live podcast.
That wasn't nerve-wracking at all, was it?
Oh, I don't know. I think we got there.
We got there in the end.
Yeah. Yep, we've got a question. Why don't you bring us into it? What's the iconic line?
When the lady is leaving the house and she's like, oh, I'm afraid. She's like, be afraid, be very afraid.
Yeah, delivery was a bit hammy, wasn't it?
I've seen some of your performances. I don't actually know. No. You're going to have to forgive me.
I've been directed a few years. That's what it is. Your direction.
I can't remember what that's originally from, and I know that's really poor. Is that from another film before this?
I think it's from this. film.
Italian film.
Yoda. Yoda. Afraid be, you must. Okay, I've got one question, and I would like the audience to stand up and tell us what they thought of it. Has anyone seen the sequel? Yeah? And did you enjoy it? Would you recommend it?
I saw it probably more times than the original. I'm in the same boat as a lot of people. I watched these movies when I was too young, and I loved the second film. I just thought it was so cool and so gory, and I loved the special effects. Can I spoil it? Can I spoiler?
Sure, why not?
That bit, a bit at the end when, you know, the guy goes into the machine and he comes out again and he's even worse. He's just like this giant maggoty thing, and then they're like feeding him in a wee petri dish. Like, that stuck with me for years, and I highly recommend everybody watch it. It's a good bad horror film. Like, it's not got Gina Davis. It's not got you know, the great relationships and the, you know, it's not got social commentary. It has none of those things.
It's just good. It's just good.
But I enjoyed it because I like bad movies anyway. So, but the special effects were interesting, and you know, I just it stuck with me.
You basically told us that it's a good bad movie. The effects are interesting, and it's not got the chemistry, but we should go watch it anyway.
Yes, and I stand by what I've just said.
And it's to do with is it not to do with Veronica's offspring or something? Yeah.
Yeah, it's our son. I think it's our son, and and there's a dog. Trigger warning: a dog dies.
Oh, spoilers there. Jeez,
No, people should know that, because you know it's that did upset me as a child. I think people in here can enjoy a good bad horror film, but I still have a soft spot for it. So yeah, check it out, guys, if you haven't.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Can we chat quickly about the original? Anyone else? Have you guys seen the 58 one? Yeah, you all remember the end, the very end. Do you remember it?
I've not seen it.
You not seen it?
Stop putting me on the spot. I've not seen it.
Oh, sorry.
To be fair, though, this is a horror podcast, and that is more sci-fi, so I've got an excuse.
Okay, fine, fair enough. Okay, I think that the ending. You've not seen it. I don't want to say anything. I kind of want to.
Should he spoil it? Give us a right. Yeah, no.
I don't want to spoil it. What do you think? It's quite. It holds up, doesn't it? It's still quite terrifying. Like you get like that scene on YouTube, but anytime you watch it, you're like, still terrifying. I've got a memory of when I must have been 4 or 5. I must have watched it, or back then you would have, watched the film. Mum and Dad probably sat me down in front of it. But I've got a memory of waking up and I was in a bunk bed. I was obviously dreaming about this because this didn't actually happen. But I remember just like the fly, like in a suit, climbing up the bunk bed to come and get me. And that's like ingrained in my napper still to this day. I must have been about 4. It does explain a lot.
And for our American listeners, napper is head.
Head, sorry. Sorry.
Okay, we're going to wrap up this episode. Stephen, what is your creative recommendation this week?
My creative recommendation this week is The Dark Half by Stephen King. I'm on a bit of a run now with the books, and I hadn't read this one. I think he wrote it in 1989. And it was inspired by his own kind of story with when he was writing books under the Bachman name. And when he was kind of found out that it was Stephen King, he decided to kill off Bachman. And he basically does the same thing in this book where he kills off. He's a writer who kills off a pseudonym named George Stark. And then things start to go dark. It's quite it reads like a crime novel. There's a lot of kind of crime elements in it, which is quite cool. Has anyone read it? The Dark Half? Not seen the film?
At least one up the back there. Yeah, a few. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Cool. Who are you? My creative recommendation, a lot of people might have seen, but we watched it a few years ago, and it's been on my radar again because Mike Flanagan is on my radar again. But Midnight Mass, it's on Netflix. It's maybe 6 episodes.
Yeah, 6 episodes.
Don't want to give too much away. It's a slow burn horror. Themes of, without giving it away, themes of religion, immunity, almost a little bit folk horror in there as well. But Mike Flanagan is now doing Carrie. What's it? Carrie?
He's doing Carrie, yeah.
Carrie, yeah, and
he's also doing The Dark Tower as well,
and The Exorcist as well. So he's a filmmaker to check out as well. But Midnight Mass, the performances, the story, everything was damn near perfect. So yeah,
really enjoyed that.
And we've also just released a new episode today, so if any of our live audience is interested in hearing more of us just talking rubbish on films, we just released Pet Sematary, which is another Stephen King adaptation, so you can check that out as well. You can also leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. If it's going to be 5 stars, if not, don't bother. It's absolutely fine as well. And you can follow us on Facebook, The Horror Cut Show, which is a Facebook group where we basically say when we're going to review another film, and you can leave your comments, much like tonight, and we'll read them out, your thoughts on it as well. And we've got an Instagram, which is The Horror Cut Show as well. Stephen, anything else?
No, I've just got to say thanks for everybody for coming tonight. That was a nerve-wracking experience talking up here, but no, I really enjoyed it, so thank you guys.
Can we get a round of applause for the audience? Can we also get a round of applause for Lewis up the back there, who's done all our tech tonight?
Well done, Lewis.
Karen as well.
Hey, Karen!
And we are live at the Old Hairdressers in Glasgow, so a round of applause for the venue for having us as well.
Woo!
Until next time, stay scary and see you next month. Thank you.
Thank you.
We better get back, because it'll be dark soon, and they mostly come at night. Mostly.
I guess everyone's entitled to one good scare, huh?
We're friends to the end, remember?
This is the end, friend.